Hey everyone, welcome back to GrowthOS podcast. And today with me is Ankur Sinha. He is a currently experienced technical writer working with Thrillax, and he is leading technical content writing for Better Bugs, which is a SaaS bug detection application highly useful for developers and QC professionals. Welcome, Ankur, to the podcast. It's lovely having you here.
Thank you, Ty. Thank you for having me. So yeah, it's great to be with here. We almost talk every day, but on a podcast, this is our first time, and
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
Yeah, I
really
really
looking forward
enjoy our
to.
chats like on AI, tech,
Right,
whatever is
right, right.
happening currently. So,
Correct, correct,
yeah,
correct. So we
yeah,
connect every day, talking about what's happening in the industry. We share articles every day, and
true.
whatever things I find, I think I share daily with him. Whatever things I read or whatever I find. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah, almost. But yeah,
yeah.
it's this is like very few of the conversations I have with people on WhatsApp, and you are one of the guys that I really enjoy talking to. So,
Yeah,
and
thank you so much.
it's a privilege to have you on podcast for Growth
Yeah,
OS.
likewise.
And
Likewise.
so today we'll be talking about technical writing, where Ankur will dive deep into how technical writing differs from normal blog writing, what it takes to be an elite technical content writer, and why AI cannot help you with creating in depth technical content pieces, even though it is primed with knowledge of everything that is about software development, cloud computing, etc. etc. Right. So, Uncle, let's begin with the core agenda that what exactly is technical writing and how what are the normal thought process or the entire process of technical content writing and how it differs from normal blogs.
Okay, so talking about technical writing, so the word itself says it's technical, right? So in that, you basically it's a instruction. You have to work on making it as clear as possible, like an instruction, right? So
Hmm.
that what makes it really technical. So when compared to blogs or any other pieces, let's say there are some pieces on marketing also, if you can consider.
Hmm.
So in that, what happens is that in blog, you have to have some empathy or your own thought process or your basically your experiences, right? In blogs.
True.
And in technical writing, you can't, these aspect doesn't work, right? Because you have to basically provide a set of instructions to the user or and the user will only and the user will only see those instructions, right? He is not interested in your thought process or in the environment that you build while writing that article, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that is the line that separates blogs and technical articles or blogs, you can say. So this is the
Hmm.
line that clearly differentiates. I mean, most people doesn't understand this differentiation, so they consider everything as blogs, right? Even technical articles or technical blogs as like content marketing blogs and all. So
Right.
these are basically two different things, right?
Hmm.
And they can't mix up together.
Okay.
So these are two genres of, let's say, for in music also, if you have genres, right? So
Hmm.
with this, the same analogy you can use here also. So these are two genres of writing, and they are
True.
very different. They use the
Hmm.
same English words, the same tonality and all, but the
Right.
audience is different, totally different,
Hmm.
right? So
Hmm. Yep.
these are some things that differentiates between this technical writing and blogs or content writing.
Okay. So coming back to this, our core premise of this podcast, if a person is not having technical background, right, and
Mhm.
so he's a normal content writer, typical content writer, and
Yeah,
he is
okay.
expected to create articles on technical topics.
Mhm.
So let's say, for example, Kubernetes or Docker, right?
Okay.
uh, how like their approach would look like, and how an experienced technical content writer approach would look like with someone who has a maybe IT degree, MSc in computer science also. Can you explain that?
Okay, yeah. So very interesting question. So this is also I find in lots of current day articles and all after after AI has been everywhere, right? So
Hmm.
uh, uh, as for someone who knows or that who comes from a technical background, right? He knows the ins and outs of it, how technology works or how something works at the code level, right?
Okay.
But someone who is a general content writer, he wouldn't just understand a terminology.
Hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
so when he or she is writing the article, so he won't understand ki this step is correct or the next that I'm writing is correct, is going to the following the first one, right?
Hmm.
So again, the instructional step by step thing comes into play. Okay,
Hmm.
so basically here the subject matter expertise also matters the most, right? So
Understood.
if you have a technical background or if you have worked with IT in your previous work experience or you have an IT degree, right?
Hmm.
There you can easily write or understand those.
Yeah.
Okay, but a normal content writer wouldn't understand anything. Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
even he can get the article from some AI agent or from Perplexity and other Chat GPT and all, but he won't know that it's giving him the right answer or it's trying to just please the reader.
Hmm.
Okay, so
Yep.
that's the difference. Yeah, and that's the difference between a experienced writer who has already good experience with the technical side and someone who is a general content writer who has good English but he doesn't know the technical side of things. So
Hmm.
the subject matter expertise really matters here.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Understood. Right.
yeah,
Okay.
correct,
Um, Understood. And what I also believe is that maybe the person is not in that capacity to fact check whether the technical aspects, certain parts of code or
correct,
instructions
correct.
the AI model is giving, whether it is
Mm-hmm.
factually correct or is it
Mm-hmm.
just hallucinating and making up information, right?
True. Yeah,
Yeah. I
exactly.
think so
Yes.
that is the core challenge there.
Right, right.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
even with someone with one more point I would like to add, even with someone with experience, okay, so let's say one person can't know every technology.
Hmm.
Okay, so he might be good in two or three or four technologies, but let's say we have 100 technologies.
Hmm.
So if you have a, technical background, then you can fact check or validate. कि, okay, this thing works and this looks normal or this looks correct. But in a non-technical person wouldn't know that difference.
Understood. Right.
So there also the experience really matters.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just like we have YM while content where Google is especially very sensitive, right? It
Right.
expects subject matter experts to write the content just so that people are not being served incorrect information, which could lead to loss of money or loss of life.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And in similar way, technical writing also matters a lot because if you are feeding wrong information to people, they are taking wrong steps. It could break their product as well. Right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And currently, what I'm seeing the trend recently that I discovered was docs as code. I bet you will be familiar with that. How
Yes.
that approach has changed the line between blogging and technical writing.
Okay. So when talking about docs as code, now before it was like there were some small softwares or the structures that you had to use. For example, there is markdown, right? The markdown that we use to basically structure a blog or something on or an article. Okay.
Okay.
So there what happened was that you had a CMS, okay, and everything was defined over there
Hmm.
and the backend on whatever service that it was hosted, it took care of all the code side things. Okay, so as in a normal CMS, like if you are publishing a blog, you just have to put your content over there.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
and when talking about docs as code, you have to make that structure yourself.
Hmm.
Okay, or
Right.
use some tools like GitHub or Git. or there are tools like Docusaurus. Okay, so they
Hmm.
enable basically the code to be written in that format.
Understood. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and in when talking about the lines that between those, that line is also blurring, because now code is also code, what code with code you have to reiterate, right? Let's say there are some code changes and all, so there and articles also you have to update, right? And
True.
the tools are becoming basically, you now you get unified tools that can do both. Okay, before it was
Interesting.
like, yeah, before it was two different tools that was one was handling just the blog, let's say the CMS, and the other one was you were using some software to do that, or some coding platform to do that,
Hmm.
the code and all.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now if you talk about some tools, like there's a Gitbook that I also use in my current workflow.
Okay.
So there you have just like a user interface, and you can provide code also. Let's say you have some API or the
Hmm.
server code. So one portion you can put your code and everything over there, and beside that there is also a section for writing blogs or the workflows.
Can
Okay,
you show
so
it
you
me in action?
I'm not currently using it for my purposes, but
Okay.
that's how it is with Gitbook. If you go to Gitbook site, you can let me share the Gitbook site, then it will be much clearer.
You.
Okay, so
Yeah.
can I
So.
share my
Yeah. Yeah. You
screen?
can share the screen and show it.
Okay, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So I also use Gitbook for my personal projects. So I
Hmm.
also spend some time writing some code. So I
Okay.
really enjoy writing code, and
AI
I'm
native
planning to use
documentation
Gitbook.
platform. Right.
Yes,
Okay.
it's a documentation platform. Okay, and if you go
Correct.
to this, I will show you the difference or the similarities basically, at
Okay.
how you can use one single platform for writing code as well as the docs. So here you can see that there is a documentation, right? So there is a quick start guide. Okay, so this is like text format. So
True.
let's say, yes, this is a guide that I think normal person or the non-technical person can also follow. Okay, and there is, beside that there is developers. Okay, so यहाँ पे, here you have all the codes and all.
Hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
npm install gitbook
These are
auth.
in markdown formats, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, Markdown is basically Markdown is already set with this platform. So
Okay.
here you just have to provide your text or code, and everything else will be taken care by Gitbook only.
Right. Right.
Okay,
Right.
so
Okay.
you can see there are there is a developer guide, and there is a normal guide also,
Normal
the
guide. Okay.
complete guide to
Hmm.
publishing documentation in Gitbook. Okay, so
Right.
this is a guide style or the blog or article style format.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
so this is very, I mean, intuitive to use, and
Okay.
very, I mean, and you it can be used for small to even enterprise level projects.
Hmm. Hmm. No,
Okay,
I'm
so
actually discovering this kind of documentation across
mhm.
several of tech SaaS companies right now.
Yes, yes, correct,
Yeah.
correct.
So I was just
Now,
like under the assumption maybe they could be using, or first of all, they could have developed a native solution or a custom solution to create such documentation, or they could be using some third party tools.
mhm. No,
So I
no,
think,
currently I think
yeah, Gitbook
there are
is
so
that
many
platform
platforms.
to provide
Yes, Gitbook, and there
docs.
are also very, I mean, there are similar platform. I have also across other platforms, but
Hmm.
as since I am using Gitbook, I am very familiar with the whole ecosystem of it.
Hmm.
Okay, so
Okay, nice.
you get everything over here. You get the change
Change
logs.
log. Hmm.
Okay, yeah, this is also some, you can say, technical writing or blog style format. What are the fixes,
Okay. Hmm.
improvements? Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
and the documentation is also there, and the developer guides is also there.
Right.
Okay.
So in your current project, that is Better Bugs, are you
Mm-hmm.
using Gitbook, or what kind
Ha,
of
yes.
platform you are using?
We are using Gitbook. So
Okay.
yes, Gitbook
Hmm. Great.
for everything.
Nice. Okay. Great to know.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Okay. Let's come back to our discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, like, if you are using, let's say, just wanted to know, are you using any kind of AI tools to create such technical documentations? And if so, how does it help you to improve your productivity?
So, talking about AI tools in my current workflows or articles. So, since I'm writing for a product, right? So, I can't rely on AI information because whatever information I put in the articles or in the guides directly comes from the engineering team or the basically the one who is architecting the product,
Hmm.
or from the change logs or from the release documentation. So that information I can't expect AI to give to me. Okay, so when talking about AI in my workflow,
Hmm.
I don't think so that I am using AI that much. Maybe for some cleanup, or if I want something for let's say repurposing, right? If I have
Hmm.
provided something in the documentation, I want to repurpose it to publish on a different platform, or let's say I want the same information to go in another blog also. Okay, so
Hmm.
for repurposing, I can use AI. Okay, so the AI can just provide me the basically the rewritten version of the same. The information is mine and the source is also mine, but for repurposing, I think AI is fine with AI is what I use for my workflow, and
Hmm.
that's it.
Okay.
And apart from that, I don't find AI. I don't use AI that much in
Hmm.
my day-to-day workflow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I agree with you on there, because I also use AI tools. Mostly, I have been relying on Claude now to
Mm-hmm.
repurpose whatever we are writing for GrowthOS blogs,
Mm-hmm.
and to identify like what kind of angles we can create to write, maybe extract some ideas for LinkedIn posts, or maybe even
Correct.
Twitter threads or YouTube short videos. So,
Mm-hmm.
and most of the time it doesn't disappoint. Yeah, some
Mm-hmm.
ideas are there which doesn't align with what I was expecting. But again, AI has its own limitations, but most of the time some ideas are really good.
Mm-hmm.
So it helps there, as well as like if I find that one of the ideas is really interesting, then I can ask that model to generate some kind of basic first draft or like so, and then I'll add whatever I have learned from my experience, whatever is relevant in modern times, to
Mm-hmm.
make it more actionable, right? So this
Right.
is
Right.
where I have been using AI to repurpose content.
Mm.
and
One
and
more.
it
Yeah.
certainly speeds our process also, no? If I were to again go through whatever I have written, I
Yeah.
might
Yes.
have,
Absolutely.
because I have written, I might not be able to get new ideas
Correct.
because I am
Correct.
stuck in that block. But if I
True.
am
True.
using AI, or if I am asking some of my coworkers that what do you think, like what ideas or what kind of post we can create out of this, second opinion always helps. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely. So one more, I missed a point over there. So one more thing that use AI while writing articles and all, not the product workflows and the guides that I write for my product.
Hmm.
So I use, let's say I want to include some factual things or data points in my article, right? So
Hmm.
I can just ask AI to provide me with all the sources. Let's say
Okay.
it's coming, there are some sources from different universities across the world.
Hmm.
Okay, so there are some papers, white papers, or some publications that the PhD people have already uploaded to the internet. So I can get those, I can get the links of that sources, and then I can go through those docs, and whatever things I find that are useful for my article, I can just extract from there. So
Hmm.
there
Hmm.
AI I think shines very well.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Even
I
I
can't.
find it very
Yeah.
helpful when I have to do some stat heavy article.
Yeah, correct. Absolutely. So, in normal or traditional workflow, what I used to do before using AI was that I used to manually search for those documents or that sources, right? But with
Hmm.
the AI, I can get like 10 sources in a single time. Now I have all the collection of the things, and I can, if two sources are enough for me, I won't go to the third source.
Hmm.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that funneling is very good. That AI can provide those sources or the article links or and the links to that resources. So there,
Hmm.
I think AI shines really well.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Uh, okay. So, Ankur, do you want to share your experience with your recent wins? Like, what if you have written some really good technical articles and they are ranking, performing well on the search as well as getting featured in AI overviews or other LLMs?
Yes.
Uh,
Uh, Yes.
yeah, please go ahead.
So yeah. Yes. I won't be showing that in this podcast. I will just let you know, and I will basically walk you through the process at how I achieve, because uh,
Okay.
I don't think it would be right to show that directly on the podcast. Okay. I will just provide a process, and I will tell you basically the results what I'm getting with my experiments.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
So
No problem.
uh,
So
yeah.
let me reframe the question because I have asked some other question. We cannot do that. So we'll cut out this during
Okay.
editing.
Okay. Sure. Sure. So yeah.
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 Okay.
Yes.
So, Ankur, what's your approach to writing technical articles that rank well on the subs, traditional search results, as well as getting featured in AI overviews? Like, I know that you have shared some of your wins over WhatsApp, and
Yes.
just because you have some kind of non-disclosure agreement or you cannot share for the confidentiality reasons, I understand that,
Mhm.
but you
Mhm.
can just explain your process because normal with normal blogs you can achieve that easily compared to doing that with the technical content, right? This is what I believe. So yeah, please, I would love to know your thoughts on that.
Okay, so talking about the articles that are appearing in the AI overviews or their ranking top on the front pages, I think both the technical articles and the non-technical articles can follow the same structure and how they are basically written.
Hmm.
Okay, so basically what I experimented on this logic of mine that I created over, I think, 6 or 8 months. I started doing this. I try to make changes that and see how I'm getting results on based on those changes. Okay.
Hmm. Okay.
So first of all,
One question prior to that. Uh, are you receiving SEO briefs from their content team, or you are doing keyword research, competitor analysis by yourself? Just because this step is essential to write better content. So yeah.
from the SEO side, yeah, we have an in-house SEO team that
Hmm.
provides me with the keywords and basically what to write on.
Okay.
Okay, but everything else I try to do it on my own because we
Hmm.
are a small team and everyone is busy doing everything.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
so
Okay.
yeah, that the keywords and the and whatever to write on, or the basically the pivotal keywords that I get, the SEO team provides to me, and I also directly discuss with the founders of the company. So they also provide their insights and they also share their thought process and the
Hmm.
thoughts that they would like their product to be, uh, how basically how their product should be positioned.
Hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
so
Okay.
so yes, and after that I take care of everything of writing whatever content that goes on the website and all.
Hmm.
So okay, now let's talk about how I structure an article. Okay,
Hmm.
so first of all, the H1, the H2s, basically these are one of this is one of the core things that I take care in every article, that everything is basically hierarchically very good.
Hmm.
Like if
Okay.
I can use around H1, H2 up to H6, that is the best. Okay, so
Hmm.
one thing, for the first thing that is the first thing that I start. Let's say
Hmm.
I define all the subtopics and all, and after that I try to write everything in a very clear and very limited way. If I can explain something in like one sentence, I won't use three sentences for it.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, and this basically applies to all the sections of an article. Okay, so now with the AI overviews, what you see is that they provide citations, or they just grab 2 or 3 lines of the from the whole article and
Hmm.
provide in the AI overviews. So if you write, let's say there's a blob of text and you are providing so much, basically what I can say, environment around it and explaining something in like jargon ways. So that is of no use to AI.
Hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
so clarity is one of the main things that I take care in my articles.
Which
Okay,
is very
and
essential, like because you are
yeah,
dealing with complex technical things. So if people are not able to understand, even developers can't understand whatever you
right.
have put on the article, uh, uh, the content will fail, right?
Yes, yes, and I think this applies
Mm.
to every content piece. Okay, so
Yeah.
as a general reader, if you provide, if your audience is getting the right answer in like 2 or 3 lines, why should he keep reading a 1,000 page article? Even it's a non-technical article. Okay,
Makes sense. Yeah. Fair point.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, and talking about the general blogs or the experiences, the blogs that let's say there is one travel blogger. Okay, so there is no need for this. Limiting those word limits, because there the empathy comes, his or her experience comes into play. So, but when we talk about SaaS and let's say marketing stuff of any product, so I think uh, whether it's technical or whether it's non-technical, this citation thing works best on in every direction.
So, in technical aspects, what I believe is you have very limited bandwidth to add
Mhm.
keywords because your
Correct,
focus
correct.
is more towards explaining things,
Yeah.
processes, even adding
Yeah,
codes, right?
instructional,
Yeah.
basically
So,
instructional information. You can I can't I can't put everything, or I can't use too much content in that, because
hmm,
my audience is like, let's say, developers or the QA teams or the, let's say, the product managers. Okay, so they would
hmm,
want to see that only the limit, they have limited time, they don't have the whole time in the world, right? So
hmm.
they just want to get the quick value from that article. So
Okay.
I'm trying to condense, a lot of information in like small paragraphs, in like small citation styled sections. Okay. So that is
Right.
what I aim when I create an technical article or write any piece on it.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Nice. Okay. Hmm. So, Ankur, let's veer off a bit, and this is bit intentional. Want to love your know your thoughts about vibe coding and how
Okay.
people are building products using that, and what is the success ratio? Like you can just give your estimate or whatever your observations are. Is vibe coding really helpful to build good products, or is it just fad?
Okay. So interesting question. So, yeah, I connected with a developer yesterday only. Okay, so he's a senior developer in, I think, Swiss company or something.
Hmm.
So I asked him the same question, that how do you use and what is your opinion on vibe coding? Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
so he was like he obviously he used AI, and vibe coding is I think a very lightly used in the whole industry.
Right.
Vibe coding is like you are putting some context, providing some lines, you are basically providing some text to some tool like Replit and uh, similar
Lovable.
tools.
Hmm.
Yeah, lovable, yeah, right.
Hmm.
So and you get the whole app, or you get the whole web page and all.
Hmm.
I will tell you, Tahir, I have tried it, and I you won't believe that. I understand code very well. Basically, I also have a background in JavaScript and React. So
Hmm.
I asked Lovable to just create a web page, blog style web page. Okay.
Hmm.
So yeah, it was able to produce that web page, but the code was so bad, and I got headaches after reading that code. Okay,
Hmm.
so what I have seen is that, or what I think is that vibe coding can give you the results. Okay, let's say
Okay.
whatever thing you want, it will give it to you, but don't expect it to write code like a real developer or the real expert would write.
Hmm.
Okay, so
Hmm.
that makes the code, I think, very less maintainable in the future.
Okay.
Okay, so let's say you are a non-technical, or I am a non-technical person, okay, and I provide some prompt to Lovable or Replit, and ask it to create an app or something. Okay, so
Hmm.
yeah, I get the result. Everything is working fine, and I find it very interesting. Okay, and I'm very much hyped that okay, I have created an app or a website.
Hmm.
But when you look at the code side of it, I think you will. I mean, you even if you have some knowledge of code, you will. I mean, you will catch headaches to see how it has written the code.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, you get the app, but
Okay.
it's the code is you have to basically know that what it's doing in the backend if you're taking it to production, right? But if you
Hmm.
are doing it for MVP, let's say you have to make a prototype of an app. Okay, I think their vibe coding is really helpful. Let's
Yeah.
say I
So
have a
most of the
concept.
thing, yeah, lovable, why lovable becomes successful, I think because people are using it to develop MVPs.
Correct. For
Yeah.
MVPs, I think it's very good. But if you're trying to develop a scalable app or you are, let's say, you are trying to solve a problem, then you have to iterate over it. You have
Hmm.
to make the architecture very robust. And let's say, if you want something small or to show to your team or your product team or your board of directors, okay, so there that prototyping is very fast.
Hmm. Okay. So we
Okay,
are
so
comparing Canva to Adobe Illustrator, if I'm not wrong.
I I don't think that comparison is correct. Yeah,
Hmm.
but you can say that yes, because in Canva you just provide you are just given that blocks of everything and you just create your own like a UI and all. Okay,
Yeah.
I mean Adobe you have to go everything from scratch and you have to create your own basically presentation or the
Hmm.
photo that you want.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so that is the thing. And one more point I would like to add is that yes, talking about vibe coding for new apps. Okay, but if I talk about vibe coding for experienced users who have let's say what there is a senior developer who is trying to vibe code something. Okay, so he would be able to use it very in a very good way and much faster than someone who has no experience at code.
Okay.
Okay, so let's say if his team is if his team is built was building something in like 6 months, he can build that thing in 3 months.
Hmm.
Okay, given
That
that
makes sense.
the person who is vibe coding is already experienced developer. Okay,
Hmm.
then he can cut that timeline in half.
Okay.
But yeah, if you don't know anything, then I think it's basically just showing the MVPs, and you won't be able to get much out of vibe coding. So
Okay.
that's my take on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I believe that these apps are like, just you provide instructions in NLP.
Hmm. Hmm.
That is like how we are talking with ChatGPT, and
Correct.
it will create code for you uh,
True. True.
in a way that you can visualize the product, how it looked,
Hmm.
right?
Correct. Correct.
Basically, how we create prototypes in Figma,
Huh.
right?
True.
So that is there. Another thing, what I'm saying is people are using Claude code, which is also very powerful in developing applications, but it
Hmm.
only helps if you are come from a technical background or if you are doing coding for a long time, because then you have to understand how code works.
Hmm. True. True. This I think this philosophy applies to every code vibe coding platform. Okay,
Mm,
because if you can get okay visually you can see everything as a non-technical person or who has just provided a prompt and he is getting the result. Okay, but
mm-hmm.
but at the end you have to put that to production or you have to host it somewhere, right? And
Okay.
you have to have some knowledge of code to basically use it for your own purposes.
Mm,
Okay, and obviously you are not going to take the MVP live. You have to make the whole product and then you have to make it live because that's what the aim should be for most of the people trying to get softwares live and make money out of it, right? You
right.
can't provide a MVP and you just expect it to make money for you,
Okay,
right?
understood.
So you have to have I think good knowledge of the basics of everything, only then you can make the most out of it. Even for vibe coding this the same rule applies.
Hmm. Hmm.
Hmm.
Okay. Uh, right. So, Ankur, curious to know, like, since you come from a technical background, you were into coding. What made you switch from a developer to a technical writer? How did you find this pivot?
I was very good at knowing systems or handling computers. Let's say
Hmm.
like 7 or 8 years ago, I started my journey into code and all.
Nice.
So yeah, so I haven't totally switched to technical writing. I write code for myself. Okay, so I
Okay.
try to experiment with code. I like to learn new technologies. With just as a developer, you have to just keep pushing on the product that you are working on, right? But you
Hmm.
barely get time to experiment yourself. Okay, so
Okay.
now
Yeah.
I enjoy writing code for myself. I make small apps or something, let's say web pages and all, and but for uh, and I also loved writing, so I find writing very satisfying. So I combine that both this technique, coding knowledge and uh, my writing expertise to be a technical writer. Okay,
Hmm.
so yeah, so that was the thing. So yes,
Okay.
so that yeah.
Interesting. So, how
Yeah.
long you are doing technical writing?
So I have been in to technical writing for I think more than 3.5 years now. So
3.5. Okay.
before that, I worked as a developer for 2 years.
Hmm.
So yeah, this is my whole journey in the tech career. So yeah, I'm
Okay.
just
Nice. Okay. So, like, I because I know that you don't rely on AI much to create content, like even normal kind of content, also LinkedIn post or whatever it could be. Um, Given that somebody who is into who is from tech background currently doing technical writing, what are the ethical guardrails, or maybe you can say ethical standards, that they should be watching out for while using AI to do technical content?
so talking about that. So AI hallucinates too much. Okay, so even if you provide, let's say for example, I will tell you from my experience only. So I was working on one technical repurposing my article for another piece of content. So
Hmm.
even then AI was hallucinating. Okay,
Okay.
so I know that I have provided the original source or the true source of information to it,
Hmm.
and still I am getting hallucinated answers.
Hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
so that is even I know the all the technicalities and all, and still I have to validate that information. So
Hmm.
that is the thing, that even as a technical writing, if you are writing AI, you have to validate, and you validate everything, and you have to you have basically you have to be accountable for what information you are providing.
Hmm.
Even if the original source you have provided is true, you can get hallucinated answers from AI.
Hmm.
So this, I think this is something that I didn't expect to see.
Hmm.
Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, this is the key example that I can think of right now. But
Okay.
yeah, I think even with technical writing and all the technical knowledge, you have to validate everything.
Hmm.
Even if you're providing everything to AI and repurpose it, or use it for some I mean general purposes, you still have to validate that information.
Hmm. I think
So
it
yeah,
goes for every niche, right? Be it
yeah,
technical writing
absolutely
or be it
correct.
writing
Yes,
for digital marketing.
yes, you have
Uh,
to have accountability for everything, right?
of
Because
course,
AI
yes.
won't take accountability. You are the one who is going to be on the line of fire, right?
Yeah. Just because writing is some thing, no, people even in today's time take it bit lightly, because if you have put out wrong information on your blog, nobody is going to send you to jail, right? Just because
Yeah.
you have added some false information, or even knowingly or unknowingly. Not like we don't go there, but yeah, if you are using AI, many of the times it would be unintentional, just because you failed to do the fact check whether it is
Correct,
true or
correct.
not, right?
True,
So
true.
I think one layer of fact checking or editing content is required, be it you are writing technical content, or we are writing articles on digital marketing, medical, finance,
Yeah, absolutely.
cybersecurity, whatever the niche is. And one last question from my end is, what is one big change that you see coming in technical writing or maybe vibe coding soon? What
Mhm.
is that, and why do you think it is going to create such a huge impact?
Okay, so talking about, let's say, we are riding the wave of vibe coding, and AI is obviously going to be everywhere in the next like a decade.
Hmm.
So you have to have fundamental knowledge of, let's say, whatever you're doing. If even if you're doing like SEO, or even if you are writing some technical content, so then you have to have the core knowledge. Okay, so now, I mean, if you read articles and from even from big players, from Amazon and even Nvidia, so they are claiming that you don't need to learn code, or you don't have to know the fundamentals of how things work to create an app, right? So that, I think that is going to change very soon, because people are going to realize this, that if you don't know the fundamentals, you won't be able to produce a vibe coded app. Okay, you won't be able to understand that what you have created, right?
Nine. Yeah, yeah,
So
I
this
get that.
is the, I think, yeah. So I think this, and one more thing is that whatever vibe coded app or whatever apps that are created by non-technical person, okay,
Hmm.
even if they are good apps, they need to be maintained in the next, let's say, 5 years or 10 years, right? So
Right.
one more, I think there is a huge job or opportunity or coming of uh, I mean, what can I say? Yeah, people who are experienced with code, or let's say in even in SEO. Okay, so you have to do cleanup. So whatever is created today, you have to do cleanup in like after 5 years, right? You have to, let's say, you have to do content audit, right? So even you have to do that. Only an experienced person can do that. And same goes with code, same goes with content, and same goes with everything in technology. Okay,
Hmm.
so you have to
Yeah,
maintain, you have to make it maintainable,
yeah,
right?
maintainable.
So these fundamentals that I'm talking about, that people should be learning, or even I am learning today. Okay, so this would be helpful to be a better technical writer, or a better content creator, or
Hmm.
content strategist, if you can say, content marketer, if you can say. So those fundamentals are not going away. Okay, so they are going to be basically golden in the next 5 years.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
yeah, I think this notion would be. I think this notion is getting even more clear and clear. Okay, I mean, big companies were, I think, firing so many people. I mean, basically the junior level developers and the junior staffs, but they are trying to rehire them again. So
Right.
this is the pipeline they want to maintain, not just end, because only a junior developer will be a senior developer in the next 5 years, right? If you cut that pipeline and you just hire only senior developers, then who is going to be senior in the next 5 years, right? And this applies to everywhere. So yeah, I think this scenario is going to be very interesting to see in the next couple of years.
Hmm. Okay. So, Ankur, that was a wonderful conversation with you. Great
Okay, thank
knowing
you.
you. Great knowing about how technical writing. We touched upon certain nuances, and would love to
Mhm.
have you further on our podcast, where we talk
Yeah,
about other aspects of technical writing, of development, and how tech industries are did. Right.
yeah, sure, sure,
Yeah.
anytime. So yeah, thank.
Okay.
Okay.